And so there is a gal by the name of Claire. I don't know what her last name is, but she goes on Twitter by Burn Your Binder. And she recently joined a roundtable that was called The Dangers of Gender Affirming Care for Minors. And her story is just so heartbreaking and unbelievable and true. And like anybody out there that tries to tell you doctors would never mutilate, a 13, 14-year-old, she would beg to differ. Just listen to this.
I hadn't even learned algebra in high school yet. But I was old enough to choose to have healthy parts of my body electively amputated.
Oh my God.
I was sold a product, medical transition, by professionals and institutions who told me that it would fix my distress and save my life. I was told that if I didn't do this, I would probably end up dead. But here's what they didn't tell me. They didn't tell me that taking cross-sex hormones and undergoing major surgery at 14 years old could leave me with pelvic floor dysfunction and urinary incontinence, problems I have to manage now as a young adult. I'm only 20 years old.
God, it's just
They didn't tell
unreal.
me that these complications are common enough to be known risks, and yet they were hidden from me at an age where I didn't even understand what these terms meant, let alone the impact they would have on my daily life. And it doesn't stop there. When I tried to warn others by leaving honest reviews on my surgeon's websites, describing my regret, the complications, the lack of real informed consent, my reviews were deleted. Think about that. A surgeon permanently altered my healthy body when I was a middle school student and then erased my negative feedback to protect his reputation. If that doesn't sound like fraud, I don't know what does.
I mean, can you imagine
No, I
being
can't.
one of these? What goes through the minds of these doctors that they think they're doing good, that this is a
Right.
good thing to do? It just blows my mind
It's
that there are
mutilation.
yeah,
It's
that they would
child
put these kids through this.
It's it's child abuse and it's mutilation. And then what about her parents?
I know. I don't know the
What?
story behind, like, all what you just saw is the extent of what I know about that
But
person.
still, like, I
I
mean, the
know.
people made her. There are 2 parents there that made that individual. Where are they in all of this? I just and, like, there should be some sort of communication between the parents and medical professionals, and at some point, somebody should say, "This is probably not a good idea,"
Yeah.
to
But
cut things
also
off.
imagine being maybe the parents, they have a daughter who's clearly in crisis, who is like depressed beyond belief, and they just want to help her. You know what I mean? And so if you've got a doctor, a surgeon, a renowned surgeon who's saying your child is going to die unless
Right,
you
right.
entertain this idea of her being a boy and letting us do these things. I don't
Uh-huh.
know. I mean, it's hard to put myself in that position and
It's
not and know what I would do.
That's true. I mean, that's a very good point, Ma, because there have been a lot of listen, this is not like dis doctor time, but there are a lot of doctors out there that just aren't very good.
Right.
And a lot of people, I've seen people that I know, I myself have dealt with them where you look at a doctor and the doctor's like, "Do this because it's gonna be the best thing for you." And you're like, "Really?"
Yeah.
And if you don't, you've got to question. And I think the more these stories get out, the more hopefully parents will question. Those
Yeah.
type of parents will question.
Those stories, as hard as they are to hear, are really important to hear. This is why we got to be ready for any kind of disaster that happens in an election
It's true.
or otherwise. And that's why we partner with ReadyWise.
That's true. Like the flooding here in Texas reminds me that natural disasters, they don't discriminate and they can happen anytime. And I need my family to be prepared for everything at all times. And ReadyWise, they have 40% off deals on select items right now. You guys can check them out. You can stock up on their foods, their emergency kits, their supplies. We like their solar powered generator. We have one of those in our storm shelter ready to go. It has a super fast solar charger and a high capacity lithium battery and multiple outlets because everybody wants to plug all their stuff into it. You can do phones, lights, small appliances in there. It's lightweight. It's easy to carry. It has built-in safety protections against overcharging and overheating, which is good here. Plus, it's really quiet and it's low maintenance and it's not very big, which is great. So they
The
have
solar Jennies are so handy.
they're so everybody should have one of these. You
Everybody
guys.
should have one.
Yeah, they have several different kinds. You should check them out if you don't have one. And they are a must. I mean, they are a must for emergencies. Plus, they have great food. Mock loves their banana chips. They have great food, dried
And
fruit,
soup.
gourmet stuff, and their soup. They have all sorts of stuff. Everything has a 25-year shelf life. So count on ReadyWise to help you prepare for any emergency. Visit readywise.com. Use code CHICKS10 for 10% off. That's readywise.com for 10% off with code CHICKS10.
Chicks.